When did that click and say you got to venture into this stuff?
Well, when you're in music and if you're dedicated to it full time, the only thing you have is the music. So you have to tell yourself that everything you're going to become and whatever you're going to have and earn and own, it's going to come from this. So you have to give your full dedication to this. And at no time did I have a job outside of music because I knew this was my calling. So I just make sure dedicate my life and everything to it. But as you go on, then you realize that you need to try and broaden your horizon. I grew up loving farming. From I was going to primary school, we used to plant seeds in a jar, watch them grow. That thing fascinates me. And I grew up, every chance I get, every square of a land space, I use it to try and plant something. And that's how I got into farming. I always wanted to do it, but never had the land space and all of that. So eventually I acquired some land through the government and decided to start a farm. And man, we've done so much with that farm. We've grown so much fruits, vegetables, pumpkin, plantains, banana, color, you name it.
And where are you exporting it or are you selling it?
Well, we sold them in Jamaica. Some was sold for export, not by me, but people buy them and export them. And of course, we give away a lot of stuff because when you have farm, you can't devour everything. You automatically have to give to people, and that is something I love as well. So it worked out perfect for me. And I'm into breeding as well, horse breeding. So part of our farm is breeding horses.
How are you getting the horse breeding?
Well, I've always loved racing. Racing, fishing is two things I love very, very much. In Florida, I go fishing a lot. Because as a youth growing up in Clarendon, fishing was our thing. And as I grew older, I realized how much more I loved it. And so we continue to do that. But then racing is something I had owned a horse maybe about 30 years ago too, called Spectacular Spin. She was a fast mare.
How did you get your first horse?
I purchased that horse. I don't remember how I purchased the horse, but I purchased that horse. It was just a love for the game racing. And since then, I haven't stopped. I've bred so many horses since then, and I've won quite a number of races too. And even here in the US, I do breeding in Ocala as well. I have some horses in Ocala. And I have young horses now too, and my mares are in full. It's just something I love very much. And I'm just hoping I'll get lucky enough to get a Derby winner one day.
How does the horsing game work? Like, how do you find a jockey?
There are jockeys. There's a colony of jockeys, and there's champion jockey, there is runner-up champion jockeys. They are just good jockeys. So you know the good ones, and your trainer knows the good one. Every horse takes a different kind of ride. And so you have to choose the jockey who will give your horse the kind of ride you know your horse will need to win this race. In fact, one of my horses raced yesterday, Saturday, before the concert, and he came second. I thought we would have won the race, but we got blocked by the horse who ended up winning the race. They should have taken him down, but there was an inquiry, and so they allowed the decision to stay. But I ran second. I should have won that race, and everybody knew that our horse would have won hadn't he been blocked. But yes, we'll reprogram and come again. And next time, I know we're going to win.
How hard has it been dealing with the passing of Dalton?
Very hard. That's one sore question that I always... Yeah, it's really hard when you're friends with someone for so many years. Because from 1971, Dalton and I...
How did the relationship start with this man playing? Even playing with you, it's pretty rare.
There was a band called Generation Gap. And the drummer, who is Horsemouth Wallace, Leroy Wallace. We all used to work together at Studio One, yeah? So we know each other. And some brethren was forming a band called Generation Gap. And they needed a vocalist. And they also needed a guitar player. And Horsemouth, I was his favorite singer at the time. Because Horsemouth played on a lot of songs, drum-wise for me at Studio One too. And Horsemouth said, yeah, man, we have a little brethren, man, we can do that job here, we can sing. And we have a guitarist too, wicked. So Horsemouth linked up with Dalton, and Dalton went with them, with the rest of the guys for an audition. And it was more of a rehearsal, but they wanted to see what we had and all of that. And then Horsemouth came and checked me. We were living at Delacree Lane at the time in the hood. real ghetto of Spanish Town Road. And Horsemouth, and then at the time nothing was happening really. And Horsemouth, little kids on the street come and check me and say, Freddie, a man out there in a van to you. And kind of get up and get my composure and walked out of the veranda and look. Lo and behold, it was Horsemouth. Excited as always, you know. Well, I'm a singer. You me come find me, I'm a ghetto singer, you know. Some uptown youth that farm a band and them want a singer. You don't know you're my singer, you know. And I say, yeah. And say, yeah, man, them want you come and want audition, you know. Because we have a rehearsal. And I say, all right, well, I'm going to put on my clothes and run go change my clothes and jump in the vehicle with them. And we went up to Pt.6 and saw this set of youth up there. You know. There were some, like what we call uptown kids from, you know, good family and lived in a upper class community and stuff. But that wasn't any kind of deterrent, you know. It was just brethren just the same. And those brethren finally became members of the 12 tribes of Israel because I influenced every single one of them to be a part of this movement because we had gotten close over time. And so I went and, you know, we started playing some songs. I play songs that they've known, like some stylistics, some blue magic, some spinners. You know, just a browse around and, you know, I managed to sing them because those were some of my favorite songs too, some of which I had already recorded at Studio One too. And so everybody was kind of excited, you know. I look around by each other and I say, what? Yeah, man, and nice. So them accepted me as a lead singer. I remember them gave me $12 at the time to buy some records.
And this band, was this supposed to be hotel runs or they were going to record?
No, it wasn't a recording band. It was a dance and show band. Performing at hotels, graduation balls, and just about anything music-wise. And we got together and the band was established. And we became one of the top band in Jamaica as Generation Gap Band. And the fun part about it is Horsemouth, who had me become the vocalist of that band. One night we played in a place called Black River, St. Elizabeth. It was a New Year's Eve concert. And so we played an early set, took a break, and we were to come back about 11:30 to play until midnight to bring in the new year, which is a tradition. But this time, Leroy Wallace met some fisherman on the beach, and he wanted to draw weed and never had any weed. So Leroy took the boat with the fisherman, went to Savannah Lamar, which was about, I'd say about 40 minutes driving. By boat, I'm not sure how long it took them. But they took him there to get some weed and come back. By this time, people started to clap because they wanted the band because it was getting close to midnight to ring in the new year. We were confused, not knowing what to do. We searched for Horsemouth, we can't find him. And we went up on the beach and them said, who you look for? The man who played the drum, and we say, yeah. If say him gone with Riddim, down at Savlamar, them gonna look weed for come back. So a decision had to be taken right there. What we're going to do? And them say, Freddie, you think you can hold the tempo of the song them? Well, I don't know if I could have hold the tempo because me just sing the song them at night time. And I mean, I know the song them, but never tell myself I could have probably even challenged that. But it was a situation where we never had any choice. And I remember Bugs, the band leader, put a boom stand mic in front of me. And around the drum set now. So yes, so them said, boy, just see if you can hold the tempo them. And we sure started off. And it started to work fairly well. And I find me I sing and I play the song them too. First time. I mean, I used to fool around at Studio One. Because every time the musicians take a break, you go bang Jackie piano for a little, and you go on the drum set. And because you watch them every day do it. It's like learning to drive a car. You watch them change the gear and sink the clutch. And you tell yourself, say, yeah man, we can do that too. And you fool around. So that night was a real test. And I was able to do it. And they fired Horsemouth after that. And for the next couple of months, and me, I play drum and I sing. Until it kind of became overwhelming for me, and I wanted to get back out front and do what I'm doing. And then we eventually got another drummer, and then the group continued. And that's where I met Dalton Browne. That's how I met Dalton. And when Generation Gap Band broke up, I promised Dalton that as long as we there, we're going to always work together. Anything may I do, you're going to be a
What was
part
it
of it.
about that original connection? What energy?
Well, I mean, with the band, when we linked up and started out with the Generation Gap band, Dalton and I, we had an instant connection because musically we think alike. We love the same kind of music, and Dalton is a genius. I can tell you, genius. So, you know, we got really tight, really tight, and we started to bond as brothers, you know. And then when the band broke up, I said to him, well, Dalton, anything may I do, it's both of us. And from that time, we never looked back, and we never left each other from 1975 until 2 years ago. So, you know, that's really deep. He was my musical director, my brother, my everything. So that was really tough. But still trying to get over it, not fully yet, but...
Did you question, all right, so when it happened, did you question about easing off music a little bit before?
Well, as a matter of fact, I can tell you, no, because I couldn't, because we still had a whole of bookings. And so, you know, we had to fulfill commitments. And what I did take a break from was recording. I still do. I have an album coming out in the UK, produced by my cousins, called A Breath of Fresh Air. But that was as a result of recording songs every time I'm in London. We go to the studio and we record. So the other day we decided to listen back to some of the stuff that we've recorded and say we should put an album out. We have more than enough tracks. And while listening to the tracks, someone shouted out, well, you know, so them tune has A Breath of Fresh Air. And everybody just looked at each other and said, you know, so we should have named the album A Breath of Fresh Air, and that's it. So that album it's being prepared now to come out over this summer. But we started the album with Dalton before he passed. I recorded 12 tracks at Mixing Lab, and we started to do overdubs and stuff at my studio. But then Dalton passed, and since his passing, to be honest with you, I don't get the feel in my gut, to go back to it yet. But that album is going to be completed. That will be my album for 2023. Yeah.
And how was the first?
And that album, I'm dedicating that album to Dalton.
I lost my best friend, right?
Wow.
And like, how was the performance the first time with him not being there?
Sickening. I don't like talk about it. Sickening. I was looking around and not seeing him. Big problem. Yeah. One of them things. You have a good friend, man, and you lose your best friend. It's really serious. It's something more deep, you know. But him knows that the work continues and I have to do what I do. And I do the work for me and him same way. And sometimes I joke about it, you know. So when Dennis and Greg with them to Dalton, the first thing I say, oh, preach. And I say, boy, I'm there I do the work, man. Because it's a joy still, you know. I mean, it's hard for us when you lose a friend or a brother, but yeah, them gone do another work. And we have to just prepare ourselves for when that time comes. Because we're going to see them again too, you know. But when we go like them, because you can't see them in this life, because they're in another life.
And like, how was it? The band tough still, right? The band tough. Because you brought in, that's the first you brought in. You brought in somebody first before you brought in this.
No. This group, no man, me and them Riddim work. We've been working together for years, including Dalton as well. So we pretty much have that bond. Musically, we know what's going on. So it was an easy transition, really. It's just that Dalton is not here, but everyone else, like you see, the group were tight and together, you know. So.
And I noticed you use a lot of family.
Well, Shima is a professional singer. She's the daughter of Sister Judy Mowat, and she has her own thing. Chino, my son, Chino has a beautiful album coming up. Him and Stephen. There's a track that they have with him, Stephen, their brothers, my two sons, Junior Gang, Steve Marley. Wicked song. It's called Brother to Brother. I'm talking about how brothers live with brothers and stuff.
So you have two sons, right?
Yeah, three sons. I have three sons. Stephen, Chino, and Micah. Micah is no, he's not involved with music. So it's just Stephen and Chino. Stephen is a producer.
Because it's almost like you have two sons playing in the league. Like you played in the NBA, you have two sons.
Yeah.
How did it work out that you have two sons performing on 6 nights?
Well,
That's the thing.
Oh yeah, Chino tough man. Chino unfortunately never got the chance. So do a half of his set last night, but with time constraint, we understand, he understand. But no, man, Chino's a tough performer. Right now, Chino has developed into a monster of a performer. The rest of the world just don't get it yet. But he's coming through, album is coming and everything is coming. So this is kind of like preparation for that time. Stephen, in fact, Chino is the one who brought Stephen to the music. Chino is responsible for Stephen's success. Push him on, you know, from kids. And they grew up on, and luckily for me again, the vision worked. Because like I say, when I built my studio, I thought, if my kids grow up and love it, we have it. And as a matter of fact, we'll be able to help some other people. So all those things work out for me. And when I look at Steve now, and 5 Grammys, I'm like, damn, all these things that I didn't get, they got it. Chino has a Grammy, because he wrote a song on the Junior Gang album that gave him a Grammy too. So I'm just looking at them and just see myself achieving what I personally didn't achieve throughout my early career. And it's a blessing just to see him, because it's me same way. It's them, but it's me.
Well, let me hear you say, Mount